Hi, it's Tristan, and in this video I'm taking a look at the new Square credit card reader for chip credit cards, commonly referred to as EMV. EMV stands for European MasterCard and Visa Protocol. It's a more secure protocol for accepting credit cards. And here in America, coming October 2015, merchants are going to be required to accept chip cards. And then over the next year or two after that, they're going to be totally getting rid of magnetic stripe cards altogether. So this is kind of important for people who, take a lot of credit cards or whatever, or who want to accept credit cards. The chip cards are much more secure in that they don't store the actual credit card number on the chip. It's a scrambled version, sort of an encrypted algorithm of the credit card, and it kind of communicates with the actual reader itself and the credit card financial system, to get your credit card charge. So let's take a look at the new reader. The first thing you're going to notice, it's quite a bit larger than the prior version of the reader and looks a little bit different. I've got the old version here. It's the product red version. And you can kind of just compare the size. The new one is probably maybe double the size or something like that. And let's look at the thickness as well here. So you can see it's definitely a bit thicker. And the reason for that is because there's sort of a mini computer in here, a mini microprocessor that takes care of all the encryption and sort of communication and stuff like that. But also this has two slots. It retains the magnetic stripe slot, and it's also got the dip slot as well. They call it dipping when you put a card to read the chip. It's not called swiping, it's actually called dipping. So it's got the slot for that as well. So that's probably one of the reasons why, the reader is a bit thicker. Let me go ahead and plug this right into my iPhone 6. It plugs right into the headphone jack, just like the prior version of the reader. And I will go ahead and launch the Square Register app, which I keep in my finance folder. And when I launch the app, you can kind of see that it connects to the reader. So there is some sort of sync with, the server and stuff like that, or at least between the app. It also tells you here that the battery is charged up on the reader, because the new reader does require you to charge it up via USB every night. So let me go ahead and go through a charge here. I don't want to actually charge myself. It's my own credit card. But I do have a chip card here. It happens to be a Citi MasterCard, Citi World MasterCard with the chip. And this is what the chip looks like right here. This one happens to also have a mag stripe on the back too. So I could still swipe it if I wanted to. But what's interesting about the new reader and the new app is if there is a chip, it knows. So if you swipe it, it'll say, please insert the card to scan the chip. So, if it's a credit card without a chip, you can still manually swipe it, the mag stripe. But if it does have a chip, it'll tell you. So, let me try that right now. I can go ahead and swipe it. It says chip card, so must be inserted. So what they mean is insert the card, and what the term for that is called dipping, where you dip the card. Now what you need to do is sort of line up this metal chip with the reader right inside here. But that's actually pretty easy to do, because what this reader has is a little wall on the inside here. So what I would do is just simply put it in very easily against that wall and then just push it in. And as you can see, it says, you recognize the card, but it says card not charged because I have the 0 charge on there. So I don't want to actually charge myself. But what you do need to do is leave it in there throughout the whole transaction. The card needs to be just left there until the customer signs and the transaction is complete. For security purposes, it actually does communicate back and forth with the app, and I think also the app communicates with their own servers as well, Square's own servers, just for the security of the transaction and all that kind of stuff. If you go into the settings here of the app as well, you can see readers for chip cards 1, so it's recognizing that there's a reader, and you kind of just check to make sure that there's a reader there. So that's basically how that works. You can then proceed through with your charge and whatever, and then when the financial transaction is done, you would simply remove the card out of there. So it's really quite easy and works quite well, and I actually think it's easier than swiping a card. You're not having to deal with potentially a magnetic stripe not working or being really flaky and not scanning or whatever. This is pretty reliable. You just basically dip the card in there and let it do its thing, and it works a lot easier than swiping, in my opinion. Now, as I mentioned, this new Square card reader does require you to charge it every night, because it does have a little battery in here, and it's almost like a mini computer. There's a little LED right here, so when you're charging it, that LED will light up amber, and then when it's fully charged, it'll light up green. So it comes with a little micro USB to USB cable here, and that plugs right into the slot here, and I can show that to you. And then this would plug into any USB device to charge. You can charge with your computer, you can charge with your iPhone or iPad charger, or if you're on the go and you don't have a plug, you can even charge with one of these things like a battery backup system. So let me go ahead and plug it in. I can show you it charging there. So as you can see, it lights up amber. Yeah, see the LED is lighting up amber, and that means that it's charging. When it's fully done charging, it'll turn green, and that's how you know. The battery in this thing is quite small, and I don't think this takes very long to charge at all. They also say that this should last for a full day on a charge too. So if you're out and about, taking charges, and you don't have access to power to charge this, it should last you throughout the day. Although I haven't really done extensive testing on that. This is the packaging that it comes in. It's got a nice sort of frustration-free, environmentally friendly type packaging. And then this is the box inside. You'll pull it out like this. So you can see it says Square Reader for chip cards, accept credit cards today. Right here, chip card as well as the mag stripe card. And then on the back, you've got some more information in terms of, just telling you that what you can do with Square. So what you'll do to open this is you'll just cut the tape on the bottom and the top, and then this just pushes up like this, and then the insert comes out. And then inside the reader will be there, and then you've got pull tabs here. You get another pull tab in here, and then you've got your instruction manual here as well as a sticker. And then in here is where the USB cable was. So very nice packaging and a nice compact size. This card reader, as of this video, does cost $29, so it's not free like the prior version of the Square readers. But I think in a few years, when the mag stripe cards go away, this is going to be pretty much the industry standard, because the financial industry is trying to get away from mag stripes. The EMV credit cards with the chip are really a lot more secure in that they really can't be copied or stolen nearly as easily, and all the data is pretty much encrypted. Unlike the magnetic stripe cards, where the credit card is pretty much there on the magnetic stripe, and all they have to do is read that off of there, and then they've got your credit card number. The credit card industry is also sort of changing who's responsible for fraudulent charges. The new rules going forward is that the merchant, aka the seller, has responsibility for fraudulent charges. So it really does behoove you to use the EMV card reader for maximum security and safety. So this has been my look at the new Square EMV reader for chip cards. It works both on iOS devices, iPhones as well as iPads, as well as Android devices too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.